If you know me, you know I can cook, but go ahead and add bacon to the list because baby, today I baked my first ever pound cake and look at that, everything from scratch. Let me tell you how I did it. You'll need 2 2/3 cups of unmelanated sugar, 1.5 cups of salted butter, 1/3 cup of oil, 3 tablespoons of vanilla bean paste, and I say the paste, not the vanilla extract because it gives it so much more flavor. You'll need a cup of sour cream. You will need 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoons of salt, and 6 eggs at room temperature. And that just means putting the eggs in just some hot water instead of just cracking it from the fridge. You will then mix the sugar, butter, and oils together, whether by hand or the stand mixer. It's gonna first look like this, but about 5 to 8 minutes later, it's going to look just about as thick as I do. Just a nice thick consistency, and it's gonna already start to smell so good. By this point, your eggs should be at room temperature, so you're gonna crack 6 eggs, no shells, and add it to that mix, and then go ahead and combine that. After you combine it nicely, you're going to add that vanilla bean paste. This is that secret ingredient to give it such a nice, deep, rich vanilla flavor. After you combine all of those ingredients together, it's going to give you a nice thick consistency. Not as thick as I am, but just a little bit, on a lighter side. But look at it. You can actually see the chunks of vanilla bean in that mix. You're then going to take the dry ingredients. You're going to combine them nicely together, make them nice and even. And this is what you are then going to take, and we're going to do it half and half type of mix. We're going to take half of the dry ingredients and pour it into that wet batter. We're going to mix it together until they are nice and even. Once it's nice and even, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup of my sour cream. This is the part where you add the rest of the dry mix that is left to your combined batter. So this is where I mix everything together, all of the ingredients. You can mix it by hand. I mixed it for anywhere between 10 to 12 minutes. Because it was so long, my hands were kind of getting tired, so I pulled out my handy dandy stand mixer and I mixed it. But the only thing to be careful about with the stand mixer is to be careful to not over mix it. And the batter should look just as beautiful as this. You can see the pieces of the vanilla in there. You can smell it. You can taste it, which you're not supposed to because it has raw eggs in there, but I did, and it tastes amazing. I didn't record where I added butter and then flour to the pan because it was just a mess. But once you add butter, then flour to that pan, you're going to evenly pour in that batter. The batter should take up about maybe 1/3 or a little bit more of your pan. It depends on the size of your pan. And mine's turned out to be just about 1/3 of it. Now, normally you would bake it at 325 for 60 to 75 minutes, but it just depends on how well your oven works. My oven works on Black people time, so I constantly have to check it every 20 to 30 minutes, and I adjusted the time and keep adding time to it until I was able to put a toothpick through it and it came out clean. And look at that. She's so beautiful, and she smells amazing. So I'm going to let this cool for about 20 to 30 minutes before I flip it over. Of course, I got to taste it first. And it is, Jesus, just as good as it looks. Not as good as me, but You can make a glaze to go over it. I kept it simple. I just sprinkled some powdered sugar and was able to cut into it about 20 to 30 minutes later. So nice, so soft. It smells so good. The consistency is so dense, but thick, but soft. It's just something that you have to try. So let me know if you guys would try this recipe. I found it online and it's by far the best pound cake I have ever had, and my kids agree as well. So let me know if you try this, and I don't know. Baking seems to be my new thing now, so let's see what I'm gonna bake next. Hopefully I record it for you guys.